Hey friends, it's Lisa. Welcome and thank you for watching another one of my videos. So today I am here to talk about the highs and lows that I experienced over the last week, which would have been week 5 of 2021. So I'm going to start with the major thing that happened to me this week, which sucked on a big level. I ended up hurting my back on Tuesday night. So we have had some snow over the last couple of days. We had snow last weekend, we have snow right now. And Tuesday evening, I went outside and I was cleaning off our cars. And I didn't have a shovel and I was just trying to brush all the snow off of the cars. But I also was like reaching around and twisting and turning. And there was also some snow on the ground around the cars because the plows didn't get it. I have Milo here with me. But I was using my feet to kind of kick snow out of the way and kind of push snow out of the way. Definitely not the recommended method to remove snow. And all was fine. I was living my life Tuesday night. I started doing laundry before I went to bed and I was putting some clothes away and I bent down and I bent with my back, not with my knees, because they were closed. There wasn't anything heavy. And when I did that, something, I don't remember if it was a pop, if it was a twitch, but instant shooting pain. And it just like everything from that spot in the back down got really stiff. Like my legs were super stiff to move. Everything was just painful and stiff. And so, like I said, this was right before I went to bed. And so I crawled into bed and I thought, okay. And my boyfriend's like, hey, do you want any medicine? And he had like this, he has some Tylenol extra strength, but they were in an envelope from, I think his mom had given them to him or someone had given them to him. And I was like, that's kind of sketchy. I want my medicine to come in actual containers. And so I didn't take any. And then when I woke up Wednesday morning, very early, I was still in excruciating pain. And so I took some of the shady Tylenol extra strength that came out of an envelope and nothing changed. And then I decided, because it was super early, that I would try a virtual doctor's appointment. So with my health insurance, we have this benefit of a program called Doctors on Demand. We used to have Teladoc, but basically it is a service that's free with our insurance, and you get to go online and video chat with a doctor. And so I did it because it was super early in the morning, and the first thing the doctor said was, you realize this is a virtual appointment and therefore I can't truly examine you. And I said, yeah, I know, but I was in so much pain and it was so early, I didn't know what else to do. And I didn't feel like I needed to go to the emergency room. Like I felt like my pain was pretty severe, but it wasn't emergency room severe and I didn't want to go to the emergency room. So anyway, we did the virtual appointment and the doctor said, you need to go to urgent care. So I ended up waiting until the local urgent care opened. I went, they gave me medicine, they took x-rays. They didn't see anything wrong bone-wise. But basically I was just in pain for a couple days, and it's much better now, but it's still like if I turn a certain way it hurts, or if I'm walking I can just feel like how stiff it is. And so I'm not in that excruciating pain where I can't move, but I'm still in that not 100% all clear. So anyway, I will be going to my primary care doctor tomorrow to just make sure that it is probably a muscle sprain, because one of the things the urgent care doctor brought up, it is possible that I might have a herniated disc, and I should talk to my actual doctor about just making sure that we check that I don't have one, because it's easier, of course, if you diagnose it early and fix it before it gets aggravated and gets worse. So other than that, which that has pretty much dominated my week since Tuesday night, but I had two other things that were kind of positive and good. So the first thing was that Tuesday night before I hurt my back, I participated in a Yelp Elite event where it was a tarot card presentation reading thing. So I am a Yelp Elite member, and because of COVID, a lot of their events, actually all of their events, have been virtual events, which is great for someone like me who's an introvert, and sometimes going and meeting people at these events in person can be quite stressful or quite overwhelming. Sitting in the comfort of my own home is always a great thing. So anyway, I did this Yelp event, and there was a energy worker who presented, and she talked about the basis of tarot cards. This is actually the second of tarot card events that I've gone to in the last year. I also participated in one from Yelp Austin, Texas. But anyway, tarot cards are something that I'm interested in. I do not know anything about them, but I do have a deck that I purchased, and I would like to learn a little bit more about them and incorporate them in my practice of my life. And then the second thing that was kind of positive this week is that I finished my Dan Rather What Unites Us book. But it was actually an ebook because it was on my Kindle. So I had stated a couple weeks ago that I had started reading What Unites Us by Dan Rather, and it was quite good, and I put it down. I think I started it January 3rd, and I finished it probably Thursday. I think I finished it on Thursday, because basically I was spending the majority of my time in bed on my flat back, because that's the only comfortable position I could be in. So I was holding my Kindle like this. But anyway, I finished it. It's a beautiful story of Dan Rather's. It's almost like a memoir, but basically it takes different topics and basically reminds me as an American what makes our country so special. But it talks about the positive things of how we got here, but also it does not forget the ugliness that we've had. So it kind of talks about how we've overcome some of these difficulties, you know, in the past, and we've become this nation. And it's just really a very interesting read, and especially in today's time. It was published, I believe, probably like November. I don't know the exact date, but it was before Christmas. So it didn't talk about, you know, January 6th and the insurrection, but it's almost as if he read the room. He knew that we as a country were kind of headed in this direction, and he just was reminding us about, as Americans, you know, what we can do to help make our country come together, be stronger, overcome our differences, and, you know, keep fighting the good fight that makes our country the beautiful country that it is. So I enjoyed it. I highly recommend it. My dad has not finished it. I checked in with him today, and he brought up a really great point. The way it's written, you can read it, a chapter, and then put the book down and then come back to it, because my dad's reading other things. And that's kind of like what happened to me. I started it on January 3rd. I read a little bit here and there, and then basically this past week when my back was hurt, I knocked out the rest of it because there's nothing else for me to do. And with that, today is Super Bowl Sunday, and it is snowing here where I live, and so we're trying to figure out what wins, the Super Bowl or the weather, in terms of if we're gonna order delivery today, because it's the Super Bowl and wings and pizza and all that stuff. Also, a fun fact is that last year for the Super Bowl, my boyfriend, partner, I use that term interchangeably, he brought wings to my house for our Super Bowl party, and I had not eaten meat in over 3 years. And there was just something about these wings that smelled so good, that looked so good. And I was like, oh my God. And my dad and you know, my partner were like, you can eat meat, like it's not a big deal. And I was like, but I can't eat meat. And so I ended up just trying a little bit, and it was like these wings, these particular wings were the wings that made me fall back into eating meat, because they were just so amazing. And especially, you know, if you don't eat something for over 3 years and then you put it in your mouth and it's like, oh my God, it was delicious. They were like the best wings. I don't care who wins. I really don't. And I usually am more for the commercials and the halftime show, but I don't really understand how they're doing it this year, especially with, you know, like COVID. And so I've been out of the football loop, but I'll try to watch it anyway. So now I'm just rambling. I'm going to end this video. If you liked this video or found any information helpful, please think about giving this video a thumbs up and subscribing. And until next time, I'll see you guys later. And I hope you all stay well. Bye.